Primitive data types. In this lesson, we are going to study about primitive data types. Primitive data types: intro, integral types, floating types, character type, boolean type. Primitive data types: there are two kinds of data types: primitive types and reference types. Primitive types are not class, enum, or interface. Primitive type are named by the reserved keywords. Integral data types. Integral data types hold non-floating values in memory. All integral data types are signed and their first bit is used to store the sign. Example: byte p equal 10, int I equal 2018. Integer types. There are four integer data types in Java. Byte, it takes 8 bits of memory. Sort, it takes 16 bits of memory. Int, it takes 32 bits of memory. And long, which takes 64 bits of memory. Remember, the first bit is used for sign. Floating data types. Floating data types hold floating values in memory. All floating data types are signed and the first bit is used to store the sign. Example: floating types. There are two floating data types in Java: float, which takes 32 bits of memory; double, which takes 64 bits of memory. Float and double data types hold IEEE 754 values. IEEE 754 standard includes positive and negative numbers, positive and negative zeros, positive and negative infinities, not a number values. Char data type. Char data type holds only one character in the memory. Char data type is also unsigned integral type. Example: hexadecimal number can be assigned to char variable. Single character enclosed within single quotes can be assigned to char variable. A number can be assigned to a char variable. Char type. Char occupies 16 bits of memory. Java uses a Unicode code unit to represent character. Boolean data type. Success of relational, logical, and conditional operation is represented by literal true. Failure of relational, logical, and conditional operation is represented by literal false. And this is example. Points to remember. Primitive data types are not class, enum, or interface. Variables of primitive data types can just hold literal values. There are 8 primitive data types in Java. There are 4 primitive data types which can hold integral types, and they are byte, sort, int, and long. They use 8, 16, 32, and 64 bits respectively. There are two primitive data types that can hold floating types, and they are float and double. They use 32 and 64 bits respectively. All integral and floating data types are signed and first bit of them stores the sign. Char stores one character in Unicode format using 16 bits. Boolean data type holds just two literal values, true or false. 2 minutes drill. Maximum value which can be stored in byte 127. Smallest value which can be stored in byte minus 128. Smallest value which can be stored in char space. Literal minus 1 also means false in Java. False. How many primitive data types are there in Java? 8. All primitive data types are also keyword in Java. True. IEEE 754 standard includes positive and negative zero values. True. Char can be assigned integer value. True. Minus 0 can be assigned to floating type. True. 0 is a positive number. True. Thank you very much.